Tonight's guest has inspired millions of young girls with her fantastic portrayal of Wonder Woman in her new National Geographic series Impact. With Gal Gadot, she profiles 6 superheroes who just happen to be real people. Thrilled to talk with this lovely woman. Please welcome Gal Gadot. Gal, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, Conan.
Are you
It's good to
kidding?
see you.
Yeah. The natural, when someone says, hey, would you like to speak with Gal Gadot? The answer is yes. Always yes. So nice to see you. You look beautiful as always. And congratulations. I'm told that you have a 3rd child on the way.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
so exciting.
Thank you. It is another girl.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So is that 3 girls?
3 girls. Yep.
3 girls. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have, let's see, I have 2 children. It gets confusing. I have 2
One of
children
each.
with my wife, and after the 2nd child, I'm one of 6. You know, I've come from a big Irish family.
Wow.
So I thought we were going to have a big family. And I said to my wife after the 2nd child, so what do you think, 6? And she said, never touch me again. So we stopped
Till
it.
this day.
We stopped it till this day, yes. You know, something occurred to me, Gal, that is interesting, which is that you have set a very high bar. When you think about it, you're under a lot of pressure. You're going to have 3 girls in your life, and their mother is Wonder Woman. You've set the bar very high for yourself. You know what I did? I set the bar very low
Low?
for myself, yes. My children, they think I'm a ridiculous person. So if I finish a sentence, they think I'm a genius.
clap.
But they expect you to be Wonder Woman, I would think.
I don't know. Maybe from the outside, but when you leave, in reality, I'm the annoying mom that doesn't let them have enough screen time and says no all the time. And I'm that type of person. To them, it's not like I'm Wonder Woman.
Right.
Only when there's friends around is that I'm still cool, but we'll see how long that's gonna last.
Yep.
But essentially we're children parents. We're nothing more.
It's true. Yeah. If anyone ever says something complimentary to me on the street, like I really like your work, my children look at me like, what are they talking about? And I'll say, okay, maybe it's some work you didn't see a long time ago. I want to talk to you about this project you've been working on, which I have a daughter who's 17 years old, and I see how influenced she is by seeing other and meeting and seeing other really impressive women, how it shows her that she can accomplish anything. And whenever I get a chance, I try to introduce her to anybody I can, a Michelle Obama, a you, anyone who my daughter can see, so that she knows she can accomplish pretty much anything in this life. And Impact, this show that you're doing, is really a great idea. You're
you.
highlighting women who are superheroes because they live in the real world and they're making themselves excellent examples for young women out there. How did this idea come about?
Totally. They walk the walk. So for a long time, I mean, after the success of Wonder Woman and fame and all of that, I just felt like super privileged and grateful that I have such a big access to people's life through social media and all of that. And I wanted to do something meaningful with that and something good. So Yaron, my husband, and I were looking for the right project for quite some time. And when we finally met Ryan Pallotta, who is a young director who did a piece about this amazing Brazilian ballet dancer from the favelas in Rio, we completely fell in love with her story. We fell in love with her determination, with her leadership, and with the fact that, even though she comes from such a complicated background, she has the force and the ability and the want to change and to influence her community. And then we just decided, okay, so we have an idea. Let's find different type of stories that are driven by different women that will show their impact in their communities. And it was such a, and then it all, and then it all became real. But to me, they're all super inspiring because, it's women that went through tough life, right? With violence or discrimination or poverty or trauma or oppression or whatever it might be. Instead of letting it bringing them down, they turned it into a strength.
Yep.
They let it fuel them into doing something and try to better their world. Mm-hmm. And it's so selflessness and it's so beautiful. And whenever I speak to these women, I'm like, you're the true hero. It's not about me. I know we're going to talk about it and all. It's you. You're the heroes. You walk the walk. I read lines and I'm being hanged on wires and all of that.
Yeah.
But you are true life heroes. And I'm very grateful that they let us share their stories.
I think it's also, to me, what's important is that there are a lot of images. There are a lot of people that are putting images out on Instagram that get a following because of how they look. And I think that it's really great to highlight stories of people that have had an experience, like an incredible experience, or have developed an amazing skill. I think those are great role models for not just young women, but young men too. But especially women need to see that now, so that it's not all who's your favorite Instagram influencer,
Totally, that there's something meaningful there. It's like, it's funny because now I do this thing where I ask my daughter, Alma is 9 and Maya is 4, so Maya is too small. But Alma, I would ask her, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? Or I'll ask their friends. And you'll be surprised by the amount of kids that are going to say famous.
Yeah.
And then I'll go along with it and I'll say, okay, famous for what? And then it's like, then it gets confusing.
Right.
But I think that, being a mother and, coming from the background that I came from and all of that, being an immigrant in America and all that, I want to be able to bring meaningful stories to life. Mm-hmm. I'm a big believer in storytelling, and I think that good stories has the power to change. Mm-hmm. And I hope that people are going to be able to connect to it once they watch Impact.
I think they will. We have a clip here, and this is, I believe, the ballet school. Is that right?
20. Yeah, from Brazil.
From Brazil. Let's take a look at this clip from Impact with Gadot.
Irmãos que eram envolvidos com tráfico de drogas aqui no Mundo de Deus. Então ela perdeu 2 irmãos de uma forma muito trágica. Elas decidiram optar por uma outra coisa, decidiram fazer balé, decidiram mudar a realidade da vida delas.
Aí isso acaba gerando um ciclo, né? Que a menina engravida cedo, aí deixa o filho. Aí o filho fica na rua, aprende que não deve, aí se torna bandido. Aí engravida outra menina, tem outro filho, aí volta, é criado na rua e se torna outro bandido. E é por isso que hoje é o que é. Que é um projeto que só veio acrescentar aqui. Porque aqui sempre foi um lugar que nunca teve nada. E ela fez esse jeito de se transformar na ponta dos pés.
I'm fascinated by one thing, which is that you are working with your husband on this project. Mm-hmm. Now, my wife and I, we've been married 19 years. We have an excellent relationship. We never work together. We do separate things. And so I'm very curious about this. Does it, if you're working with your spouse, does that ever get difficult?
Yes, it gets difficult from time to time.
Yeah.
But I think we kind of figured it out once we decided that it's okay to disagree.
Right.
Okay. And from that moment on, it's kind of been super smooth.
Yep.
But, for us, it's just there's all different type of relationships. Yvonne and I are very close and we're very, we see eye to eye on most things. and to be able to work with a person that you trust the most and you love the most and you know, respect so much is the best, because he and I care for the same things. And it's kind of great. You know, people have been telling me it's been so hard with my partner throughout COVID. I'm like, you know, we've been living this way for quite some time. We're like always together.
Right.
Food. But it's been.
What was that? What's foo? What's that?
Food. It's like you do it against evil eye.
Is it?
Food. It's like from like, I think,
Israeli?
Polish, Jewish or something.
Foo.
Yeah. Food. Knock on wood. When you knock on wood.
Yeah.
You say food.
Food.
Spit. It's like it's.
Oh, I spit. I have to spit. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's.
I'll teach you anything you like.
Okay. Well, the last time you offered me something, I took you up on it. I flew about
almost anything you like.
I flew 12,000 miles, and so don't say that to me, Gal. Don't say whatever you like, Conan, because
I need to learn from my mistakes.
Yes, you're gonna have to get up at you now have to teach me Hebrew starting at like 9 o'clock in the morning on Sundays. You know.
I'll do it on Mondays.
Oh, right. Okay. Mondays.
Give me the Sunday for myself.
Hey, I want to ask you something, which is, I heard you were going to play Hedy Lamarr in an upcoming Apple series, and I've heard that she's like one of the most fascinating people in Hollywood. A lot of people, I think, young people today don't know who Hedy Lamarr was and what a fascinating story this is. But I'm really glad you're playing this part.
Thank you so much. This is a part I'm super excited to play. And we've been working on it with Apple, and it's super exciting. Hedy Lamarr is basically, a figure that got lost and forgotten in the pages of history. Mm-hmm. She was an immigrant, a Jewish immigrant from Austria that came to America in the 30s, and she became one of the biggest Hollywood stars. Yep. But at the same time, she was this amazing inventor who wanted to help, speaking about impact, wanted to help America while they were fighting in World War II. So she and another composer had invented this secret system of communication, which is now basically the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is all based on that. She got the recognition for the invention only when she was 80. She had a very, very interesting life story, and I can't wait to tell it.
No, it's really fascinating that if someone didn't know, if I didn't know this was real, I would have said, oh, they're making that up. One of the biggest, most beautiful Hollywood stars was also a Tony Stark level inventor.
Totally.
And then was never given credit for it until very, very late in life. If someone pitched that story, you'd say, oh, come on, that's ridiculous. And it's all real. It's a true story. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm very excited for you. First of all, on your third child, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I want to say something in your own language. What would I say? God be with you. God, what's the best saying?
You can say good luck, behatzlacha.
I thought you meant just say good luck. And I'm like, Gal, I know how to speak English. How do I say good luck?
You can say, okay, so do you want me to teach you how to say good luck?
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, please.
Beha. Slacha.
Slacha.
Yeah,
Beha slicha.
Yes.
Beha slicha.
Toda rabah. Thank you so much.
Oh, I thought you just told me to get lost.
Never.
Get lost,
Thank
creep.
You so much.
Listen, make sure I get the word out. Impact with Gadot is currently available on Nat Geo's YouTube channel, and I really recommend this series, especially if you have a young person in your life, a young woman in your life. They should see this. It's really important. And Gal, really, you've always been very lovely to me. You're a really good person. Thank you for always being so nice.
Thank you so much.
And I've already forgotten what you taught me.
That's